If you're looking for intellectual, informed basketball takes, and you want to bring in media that knows what they're talking about, look no further than.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game, we don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. We on the break, it's fast break. We on the break, it's fast break. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, I like that. Do that again. Hold on. Do that again. That was fine.
What again?
Hey.
The DJ Paul.
Hey.
The DJ PR.
That's not guy Coach Paul.
Go to your local corner store.
What?
Put your hand in the cash register.
What?
Your money is your money.
Hey, no, we can't endorse this. We can't endorse this.
That was a classic moment in hip hop history. I'll never forget that.
This is what New York sounds like.
How many times did he replay that joint?
Yo.
A lot.
For all the youngins out there who don't know what you're talking about, that was the premiere Otis, right?
Yep.
Hot 97, Funk Master Flex, a moment in
Premiered
history.
on Hot 97.
Facts. That was a moment in history. I don't like. I want to sound like an old head, but that was when we used to listen to the radio live.
They don't know what that's like. They don't know
what year was that? That was 2011.
No, it was like 2010.
Otis? No, that feels earlier. Otis was
12. Nah, it was like 2010. It was definitely 2010.
I was like a sophomore in high school.
Guy, what do you mean?
Whatever that was, I was like a sophomore and junior in high school. That brought you back memories, bro. That's crazy. We old.
Nah. All right, keep going.
2010 being old is crazy.
2010 was 15 years ago, guy.
No, I was in high school. That's mad long ago. But anyway.
That's a fact. Listen, we're talking about our history. We ain't even telling who we are yet.
Weirdo.
They know who
you know who it is. They know who it is.
Hey.
I wish we had more like I wish we had more sound effects. We need more bombs to bop. I wish we had more bombs to drop because y'all know who it is. Hey. It's the Fast Breaks. It's La Familia. It's Fast Breaks. We're talking about hoops. We're talking about finals.
I like that.
We're here talking about the Knicks coaching fiasco.
Hey, hold on. Wait. Hey,
it's
man.
A mess over there.
Hey, no. Forget all that. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. It's a process. That's what's happening. This is a process. Okay.
Welcome to Fast Breaks. I'm Alan Lewis. We got Andre right there at the bottom of me. To the side of me, we got PR95, Paul Robinson, the coach. And this is Fast Breaks. I'm Alan Lewis. Our brother Pharaoh, our brother in pod, is not here today. He's out, doing his thing today. But welcome to Fast Breaks. I'm about to play the theme song again.
The hardest theme song for any basketball podcast on YouTube. I dare any one of y'all to challenge that.
We should have a verses. We'll go verses. Song for song.
Bar for bar?
Bar for bar. Song for song.
Bar for bar.
Of verses. That would be a fire like content thing too. We should do that.
That actually would
Any
be
YouTube, any YouTube basketball podcast, holla at us. Let's get that popping.
looking at you, Gills Arena.
Oh,
You talking big leagues? I was not talking them. I don't know if they even have a song.
Listen. I only aim for the moon.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if they even have a song. But anyway, let's talk about the finals, bro, because it's been
Real
a
quick,
very
real
good
quick,
series
real
so
quick,
far.
real quick.
Yeah,
I just
go
thought of
ahead.
something that we should talk about real quick.
What's up?
You all saw that Stephen A was playing solitaire during
Was that real? I saw the clip, but I can't tell if that was real. I saw the
Stephen A?
photo. I mean,
I think said that he could multitask. So I think he was
oh,
acknowledging
brother.
that it was
Come on,
true.
give me some context. So he's playing the same
brother.
multi.
There's a picture. Let me just tell. There was a picture out there that was going viral this morning from last night. Stephen A is at his seat. He's you know where they sit at halftime for like the halftime show in the arena.
Yeah, upstairs.
Oh, while he's watching this, while he's supposed to be watching the game, he's playing solitaire.
Especially watching the game. There's mad people. There's mad Pacers fans around him, eyes glued to the game, and you see Stephen A in his seat, hunched over on his phone, and it looks like the game of solitaires on his phone, while the game is clearly going on.
I want to know if that was during a timeout or something, or if it was when the game was being played. Because if that's a very damaging picture. I'm not gonna hold you.
Very damaging picture.
It's a very damaging picture.
From the picture I saw, it looked like all the Pacers people, like just because you could see the Pacers fans so clear in the picture.
Yeah.
All the Pacers fans were locked in. It looked like to me. So it looked like that was the
I don't know.
No, you're not supposed to multitask. Whether you could do it or not, you're not supposed to be multitasking.
You're not.
Your multitask is supposed to be like figuring out what you're about to say at like halftime or like post game, whatever it is. You're not supposed to be multitasking, playing solitaire while you're watching the NBA finals. And
Yahoo
That's
Sports.
crazy.
Stephen A. Smith responds after seeing playing solitaire at finals during game 4.
That's funny. That's embarrassing. That's bad. As I throw away my notebook, my legal pad.
If he was like multitasking doing something else, like if he was like on the phone with somebody or he was talking like looking,
that's what's happening. He's talking to Shams,
like something like that. It's like something that was like I don't know if it was what you said. Solitaire.
He said, "Yep, that's me. Who would have thought I can multitask, especially during timeouts? Hope y'all are enjoying the NBA Finals. This is going 7 games now, peeps."
Yep, that's me.
How do you know it's going to 7 games? You don't know.
Not watching it. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got it.
That's foul.
That's exactly.
That's foul.
That's exactly what that sounds like.
Yeah.
That's mad funny. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, I am wondering how you got here, Stephen A. Smith. What are you doing?
It was a timeout.
On a timeout? Is that
confirmed anyway?
Is that confirmed?
He said it was during a timeout.
It could have been. Who knows?
But I'll tell you this: something he's not wrong about. The series is going 7 games only because of the unpredictability behind it.
I don't know what I was going to say. It might. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, though. Paul, you want this?
Let me ask you all this
question.
No, 6. Thunder and
6 to the Thunder.
Yeah, but let me ask you all this: are the Pacers for real?
I think.
Man, I don't know, man.
No, I think they're for real. And I'll tell you this:
tell me something.
After the last 2 games, this might be a hot take. I actually think they're going to win.
You think the Pacers are going to win?
That's not even that hot a take. A week ago, that was a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take anymore. And this is what I'm saying about the unpredictability. I don't know what's happening in this series. I can tell you this: there are some certain X factors that that viewers should be aware of as an indication of what's happening. Right now, one of the biggest, and Alan and I have talked about this briefly, so I'm not going to take it. I'll let you discuss it because you said you wanted to. But one of the biggest X factors that I've seen is the contribution of Alex Caruso, where if he's scoring less than, this is the same take I had, different style of basketball, but same take I had about Michael Porter Jr. where Michael Porter Jr. scored less than 10 points in a game, the Nuggets almost exclusively lost. The same thing is true for Alex Caruso. It doesn't matter how many times Shea scores 35 points. The indicator has seemed to be Alex Caruso scoring over 10 points. In fact, and I think in both their wins, he scored at least 20. And that's not to say necessarily that he's the best player or whatever, but there's something that happens when he's galvanizing both the defense and the offense and is exploiting the Pacers in that way that opens up the offense. So do you guys have any thoughts on that possibility or on that potential X factor of Alex Caruso?
I think that's a good question. I don't think it's necessarily if he scores like, a certain amount, but I think when he plays well, it leads to him just happening getting these points. Like what I mean by that is like when he's like playing off Alex Caruso is like he gets a bunch of steals or whatever, or he playing defense well, which causes like turnovers, and he's running on a fast break, and he may be the person getting the layup. Also, if he has a good night where he's like taking the open threes and he's hitting them, like he's gonna end up with a couple more points. So when he's doing all those things, he's having a good game. He just may have a night where he's ending up with 20 points out of nowhere, and you don't realize that. So I don't think, like, to your point, I do think he's a good X factor in that when he plays well, it tends to be super positive for that team. But I don't think it should be a matter of like let's get Alex Caruso going. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they don't need to be running on 3-point plays for him for them to win. But when he does play well, I agree with you. He does in fact boost that team up really, really well.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Paul. No. I was gonna say it's the problem is he makes them less top heavy, which is something that they are and that the Pacers are not. Because the Pacers are, yes, they have 2 stars for sure, but they're a very balanced team. In fact, they are operating in a way that I thought the Thunder, like they're operating like the team I thought the Thunder were. And if you get what I mean by that, where I mean like they're very balanced. The whole team
will operate like that.
I'm sorry?
You thought the whole team will operate like Caruso?
Correct. No. I thought the Pacers are operating in an 11 deep fashion where you're getting every ounce from every person and it's high quality basketball. And even when they lose, you're still getting a lot out of role players and squeezing really a lot out of role players, where that seemed to be the case for the Thunder before they got into the finals. But I'm not seeing that as much now. And I don't know if it's a question of the Pacers having on a volume level more talented players, like they have literally more talented bodies on that roster, or if it's some other reason, or perhaps maybe it's a Rick Carlisle thing, because him as a tactician has been incredible this entire playoff series. He has been outmaneuvering almost everybody and playing to their weaknesses. I'm sorry, playing to his strengths and taking advantage of their weaknesses, which is something that coaches actually that might be a throw up to Coach Paul. If there's anything that you've seen that you've noticed that Carlisle's been exposing that might be contributing to what I'm talking about, which is this squeeze so much out of all 11 guys that you're running.
See, the thing about it is with Rick Carlisle, one thing I appreciate about him that I wish the Knicks did is they simplified the game. He simplifies it. Like, look, first game, it was a feel-out game, and they still won, right? After that, same thing against the Knicks, too. After that, it's like, okay, just get a switch and go eat. I don't care if you're Nemhard. I don't care if you're McConnell. I don't care if you're Halliburton. Get a switch. Pascal, I don't care who you were. Benedict. I don't care. Get a mismatch off of pick because they're going to switch and then go eat. Exploit mismatches. That's their whole offense. Right now, the thing about it is this, right? It's a very... They're exploiting weaknesses in the other team, right? Mm-hmm. It reminds me of the Miami Heat when they got to the finals in 2023. right? That's basically what they did. Like they just looked for mismatches.
So careful how you because I really want to know what you mean by this.
What by what? Where's your mind?
Mind you, with the Miami Heat.
I'm just saying, like they exploit mismatches. A very opportunistic type of team. You know what I mean? Like they're not really like. This is why I'm like, I don't care if they're in the finals. There's no way I think the Pacers are winning the chip. Right? I'm not saying they're what. I'm saying what I'm saying is they're sharp. They're sharp. They work well together. They play team basketball. They don't mess up, which the Thunder do apparently when you put a little pressure on them. Yeah. And the thing about it is they are the hardest playing team I've seen in a long time. No, I'm not saying they're what. I'm saying they're so I mean, again, like that's their offense is just it's nice. It's a very like sharp and just quick offense. Like it's hard to stop, but I think their super strength is that they just play harder than everybody.
Yes, they do. Right?
They just play harder than everybody. Like game 3, them 5 steals that McConnell got. Shout out to McConnell.
Incredible.
Yeah, say that again.
Incredible.
Yeah, no, shout out to McConnell. But he shouldn't have had any of those steals. Because in order for those steals to have been gotten, you need effort on your end as a defender, but they have to mess up.
Right.
You see what they have to mess up, or else you're not, no matter how hard you play, they're not gonna get the steal. So that's why I'm like, look, at the end of the day, I'm still saying Pacers, Nick, Thunder.
At the end of the day, listen, first and foremost, at the end of the day is gonna end. And when it does end, it's gonna be the Knicks holding the championship belt. That's what he's trying to say.
Enough.
That's what he's trying to tell you, man. Come on. I don't care. Thunder, I don't care how this series goes. Knicks in 6, baby.
Thunder in 6, because I believe they have woken up. Look, the Pacers have their strengths and weaknesses. The Thunder have their strengths and weaknesses. We're probably going to go over them individually throughout the podcast. But the one constant is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is unguardable, and he will come through when you need him to more often than not. If you think about it, this could have easily been a 3-1 series because people in the comments talking about, they just had a bad third quarter. Yo, that first game 1, right before Tyrese hit that pull-up, basically game winner, right? Shai had a good look at the basket. He created his own shot and he just missed. He was open. He got himself open and he just missed. If he made that, Pacers probably don't win and it could be 3-1. You see what I'm saying? So again, like a lot of this is hindsight. Like the Pacers they play hard. They are deep. They're very deep. They have talent 1 through 12. You understand that? But at the same time, man, it's talent wins out in the NBA. And listen, hard work beats out talent when talent doesn't work hard. But what happens when the talent works hard? What happens? What happens? We forget that part.
So that's a fact.
It's still the NBA. The Thunder.
I totally agree with you. And I guess my question is then, 1 + 1 should equal 2, right?
Yeah.
Based off of everything that you're saying, it seems to me like you actually do believe the Pacers will win. Like everything you're saying doesn't add up to a Thunder victory. Because you're saying
I'm saying that they play hard, and that's why they exploit mismatches, which is why they have won the 2 games that they won.
Right, but they also have, from a volume standpoint, they have 12 talented guys, consistently talented guys, where the Thunder maybe have 7, maybe 8.
This is the playoffs, man. This is the finals. Look, depth is good. It helps you, but at the same time, think about it like this, right? Let's say the Thunder came out sharp, right? Let's say Jalen Williams is playing for the next 2 games the way he played last night, right? Now, all of a sudden, we could look at the Thunder having a bigger lead in a game instead of it being tight or coming from behind, right? when that's the case, you think Carlisle's going to play all them players?
I don't know.
He might, but that's risky now. Because the bench is usually not your best players. Now the Pacers, they don't miss a step a lot of the time, but they play their bench. But at the same time, stars are the stars, the best players are the best players, the starters are the starters for a reason. This is still the NBA.
That's fair. Alan, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, like, to his question about just playing the bench, he's probably not going to play the bench in that type of situation. But going back to what you said earlier, I said it before. I think the Pacers are going to win now. Like they have convinced me enough. And like you said, like this series could have been 3-1 by now, and you're right. But I also feel like it could be 3-1 the other way too. I feel like the Pacers could just as easily be up 3-1.
You think
right?
So?
If we just talk about, I feel like first, let me say, Game 3 was the best game they've played this whole series and maybe the playoff. I thought Pacers played incredibly well basketball. Game 3.
Agreed.
Yeah, they controlled that game from start to finish. Even if they didn't have to lead the whole game, they controlled it. They played to their pace. They opened up the floor. They just manipulated the game how they wanted to. Right, like, and I think that's all going back to Rick Carlisle. I think he comes in with the game plans specifically for the Thunder, and I felt like it was really smart what he did in Game 3. In Game 3, the smartest thing I saw is that they just spaced out the floor a lot, right? Because that's how OKC get their steals. You don't space the floor, you do an entry pass, they collapse on you to get the steal, and now it's a fast break, and next thing you know, they're doing this 3-time steal in a row, and now they're up by 12.
Yeah.
What Rick Carlisle did, he spaced the floor, left no space for that. Floor is wide open. You're not leaving your man because he's wide open now. And they got less steals, and they're able to control the game. It was just up and down game the whole time, right? Last night, I felt like it was almost similar, but they just broke down in the fourth quarter. The last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, they couldn't score.
Right.
But I feel like they could just as easily be up 3-1, just as easy as the Thunder could be up 3-1 too.
Okay, I understand that, right? But first of all, let me respond to this. The starters were a negative. The bench was a positive. That's not what the Pacers are doing. The Knicks.
Wait. Say it again.
For the Knicks, the starters were a negative. That starting lineup did not work, even in the regular season. Tibbs was just stubborn. The bench was better collectively as a unit. So it's different. The Pacers, they don't lose a step. It's different with the Pacers. Like the bench and the starters are good together. Now, here's the thing, right? You're saying they got cold and they just missed shots and all of that,
but because they were getting good looks. I thought the looks that they were getting were great looks. A lot of them in the last 3 minutes.
I agree.
Missing, yeah,
I agree, and I think that's gonna happen again because I don't believe that the Pacers are better than the Thunder.
Ooh, I don't know.
This is where it's gonna sound disrespectful. Like I don't believe in the Pacers. I don't think
it's not like it's not disrespectful to say that like they're just not as good because you're right. The talent there is not right. But my thing is like when you're getting good looks, I'm not just going to count on like that just happening again in the next game. You know what I mean? Like if your team's getting good looks, I have to account for eventually those are going to start dropping. Right. And I think that's what's going to happen again.
Just from a basketball
if they're good looks.
Right.
At the end of a game, when everybody's tired and you're away because the next game is in OKC.
That's a good point.
That's built for that. That's where the fans are going to be a big factor.
When they're tired, they're built for that. That's how they play. They don't get as tired. They're very well conditioned. They are built for you're going to get more tired than we are. You're going to be tired first before we're tired.
Remember what?
You kind of see that.
Some free throws again.
That's what I'm saying. It was just that was just weird. He missed 3 in a row. He was shocked. Did you see him?
Doesn't happen.
Yeah, he was shocked, but then he kept missing. So I don't want to. I don't want to believe that was change. You could act like you shot. Oh my gosh, I just missed that. Nah, I'm not doing that. And then you miss again.
Yeah. But eventually, but 3 free throws. Like he missed 3 free throws in a row. I can't count on that, bro. That's
okay.
Eventually, if you keep playing like that, it's gonna fall. Like I really feel like.
Okay.
They absolutely deserve to win that game yesterday. They just made real stupid. It was not just the free throws too. He also had a stupid foul. It was a bunch of weird little stuff at the end where they kept making Like it was timely mistake. Like timeliness is the big key. It was timely mistakes that cost him the game, and obviously SGA too. SGA just went dumb in the fourth quarter.
But the Thunder,
SGA went dumb. Yeah.
But the Thunder played hard. They played the hardest they played maybe since game 2 in those last few minutes of the game.
They had to, right? Because that's the opposite of what happened in game 3. Because here's the thing, and we were talking, Pharaoh mentioned this last episode, and I agree with it. The Pacers consistently and will always have a run in them. So you got to prep for that. And you know who was really ready for that last night? Shea. There is a way that people don't understand that stopping a run isn't necessarily about just the play. It's about, what is this? Oh, it's about the mindset that goes along with it. And when you can demoralize, kind of like what Shea was doing in the fourth quarter, like where they're thinking, all right, it's our shot, we're gonna go on a run, and Shea just goes, forget all that, I don't care, and has a great fourth quarter. That all from a I don't care what the game plan is. From a mentality standpoint, they kind of suck Shea kind of sucks the oxygen out of you. And you might not have that run in you, even if you have the fans going, even if you plan for this run to happen in the fourth quarter and take advantage of it, which has been their plan from the get-go. That's how they win these series out. They go crazy in the fourth. Shea just beat them to the punch. And I think while the Pacers as a unit always has a run in them, Shea always has a personal run in him as well. And when he doesn't make that run, the Thunder lose. And when he does make that run, they're unstoppable. They are completely – he made it in game 2. He made it again last night. And he makes the game a lot easier for everyone around him when he's doing that. So and this is why I keep saying I don't know. Is Shea himself greater than the Pacers? That's to be determined. But if he does this 2 more times, we're going to have to start having some very uncomfortable conversations about who the best player in this league is.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was gonna say the main reason why I'm picking like the Pacers is because for the Thunder to win, Shea just has to damn near just outplay a whole team.
That's literally what's going to have to happen.
That's not true, man. Jalen Williams.
He's nice, but I feel like it all rests on Shea. He showed up the last 2 games, yes.
Correct.
But I feel like it kind of.
They won one and lost the other. So who's the? I'm sorry, Alan. You're making great points. I'm just contributing. I'm trying to contribute.
What did you say though?
You said that Jalen Williams played well. I'm sorry, the last 2 games, and they lost one and won the other. And the one that they did win, it took 2 things: Shea and Alex Caruso. So Jalen Williams, he can play well, but I don't know that he's ever the X factor.
And it's not like, to me, like the Pacers are so nice that Shea can't just outdo them by himself. I think Shea's that good of a player that a team like the Pacers, he can do that against. But I feel like when the Pacers are on, they're on, and that's going to be tough. Because to me, OKC's offense is not as good as I thought it was. Like from what I'm seeing in these finals games, or maybe it's just because of the juxtaposition with the Pacers offense, huh?
The pressure too of the moment.
It could be pressure. It just could be because we're seeing in real time them go against an offense that's so good. Rick Carr's offense, maybe it's just starting to look a little bit worse than it has been. But I feel like they're not as creative and they're not as potent. They're not as, I don't know what the word is, as the Pacers offense. When they really could be. They have the personnel for it. But cohesive? I feel like maybe cohesive is the word, but it's just not pressing me. It's just a bunch of just Shea. They don't have a bunch of actions. It's a lot of just Shea getting one screen and either driving, which he's so good at.
Mid-range gets
which he's so good at and stuff. But on the other side, it's the Pacers. They're doing double screens. They're doing a bunch of things, but they're all doing it just to get the proper matchup. And they're not even just attacking one player; they're attacking multiple guys, and I think that's really impressive.
Well, this harkens back to. I'm sorry, Paul. You can go.
Yeah. All right. Let me say this. Right. I got a few things to say. So. Number one, this comment.
Wait, hold on. If you have a few things to say, can I say?
All right, go ahead.
I just had one thing to say.
Go ahead.
This harkens back to the conversation we had a while ago about being the system versus being in a system. where the Pacers are a holistic system that a guy like Tyrese Halliburton can appear, and he might actually be a star because he works well within that system. He knows how to operate it. Whereas the Thunder on the other side, their offensive scheme is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He is the system. Everything flows through him. Everything works through him. So this finals is so interesting because it's really a battle of philosophies, right? Which does a better job of getting it done? You know, that's all I wanted to add. It's just something Alan said that I thought was really interesting.
All right, so let me say this, right? A few things. Number one, this comment right here about Mathurin had a great game in the Pacers win. We keep talking about Shai the Stars. The problem is
I'm tired of him being out of control.
Yeah. Who, Benedict?
Mathurin. Benedict.
Yeah. Benedict Mathurin. Well, look, here's the thing, right? The whole Pacers bench unit play well every game. So if it's not Benedict, it's going to be somebody else, right? So I'm not. Right. I don't look at it like, oh, if this guy shows up, like they need this guy to show up. Nah, if he doesn't show up, McCollum might show up. If McCollum doesn't show up, Nembhard might. If Nembhard doesn't, somebody else is going to play well. That's how nice that bench is, right?
And Obi Toppin or someone else.
That's the thing, right? That's his first thing, right? The second thing about Caruso. Oh, y'all were talking about Caruso earlier, right? The thing with Caruso is when you see him creating his own shot and getting 20, the Thunder are struggling.
Right. Yeah, that's my point earlier.
Yeah, like when you see him creating his own shot and getting 20, that's because he's the only one out there who's mentally and maybe emotionally ready for the moment. And he's just like, I'm just gonna go out there and take fadeaways and go to the rim and shoot contested threes, and he just wants it because he's a veteran and he's water chip. So he you know what I mean? When you see him getting his 20 within the flow of the offense, though, that's when you know the Thunder are gonna kind of coast to that win, right? It's different. Third thing, this is the last thing I had to say. I'm pulling up the stats for the last game, for game 4, right? Because I want to see. We got to talk about Halliburton, man. Halliburton stats.
He almost had a triple-double last time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, all right. He was 7 for 15 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3. He had 18, 7, and 2. Right?
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the last game.
He's the biggest reason, or might be the biggest reason. You said what?
No, I was
what do you have last game?
It's not this game. It was the game before that, and he almost had a triple-double. My fault. I was looking at stats before.
Right. Exactly. The thing with the Pacers, right? They need somebody like if I'm not gonna lie, if Tyrese had Shai's mentality, they will be up. If he had more confidence in his game, scoring wise, if he maybe had more skill scoring wise, that's it.
Are you saying if he had more aura, he could get it done?
No, I am not.
No, he's saying if he was just more
I don't care about that. Listen, all I'm saying is
tell this man to go aura farm. Farm. Sorry.
No, he needs to go point farming.
Point farming.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. He needs to have more.
We're starting a dictionary and we're putting the terms that we use, and this is going in there. Point farming. Paul, explain it to the people.
He wants him to chuck. That's what he wants.
Go be a truck. It's fine. It's fine.
I disagree.
Fastbreaks family. Paul and I were talking yesterday.
It's time, man.
And he said sometimes, man, and he truly means this. He said sometimes you just need a chuck. All right? You have to handle them with care, but sometimes, man, you just need a chuck. Okay? Go find yourself. You're down and out. You don't know what to do on the offense. Go find yourself a chop. He's gonna know what to do.
I disagree, man.
In this series, I believe we talk about Pascal. We talk this is not Pascal's series to me.
That's a fact.
No,
he's not playing badly, but I just think he doesn't have the mismatch that he had over the Knicks.
No, he
because
doesn't.
we were playing Josh Hart on him. You understand what I mean? That's not gonna work, right? So Pascal, he's more of a within the offense type of guy in the series, right? They need Tyrese. They need him. He's the one that's the driver of the offense. And when he's playing passive and depending on other guys to kind of play that hero ball type of thing, then sometimes it could work. Sometimes Dem Harder will pull out an and one NBA Street Volume 2 type move and score. But you're the guy that is the driver of the offense. You have the ball in your hands a lot. It got to be him. It got to be him. And I don't know if he can do it. And that's why I say shit. Because think about it, Alan. Think about what you said about the Pacers last night. And how they kind of fell apart a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Who's the guy that's supposed to get them going and get them back on track and get a bucket?
Tyrese. You're right. You're about that part.
I mean, to Paul's point, right? If you look at just the shot chart, I was going to say, if you just look at the shot chart, both Pascal Siakam and Haliburton last night only took 15 shots apiece, where Jalen Williams took 18 shots and Shea took 24 shots.
How many shots do you see the total shots for each team?
I can pull it up right now. So total shots attempted for the Thunder were 78, and they made 37 of them, so they went for 47%, 47.4. Now, this is the funny thing. The Pacers ended up actually taking 2 more shots than them. They took 80 shots and only made 34 of them. So Haliburton is moving the ball around, but to Paul's point, all that ball movement, it's got to stop to a degree. You got to make them shot. You got to take the shot, guy.
I don't know. I disagree.
Somebody got to take over. It's the finals, man.
Somebody has to take over in certain spots, in certain moments. But I disagree with y'all that he has to do that, especially for the whole game. I think this is the beauty of the Pacers offense. I think he could do it, but I think if he gets into that kind of toe-to-toe against Shea, I think that takes away from the beauty of the Pacers offense. It's going to slow down the game for them. And if you're doing that, OKC's going to get you, bro. You can't go one-on-one against Shea. Yeah, it is. But that's OKC. That's OKC's strength. That's OKC's. That's not what the Pacers' strength is.
Real quick.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about with the Pacers, man. If you slow down the game, you can't score. It's the finals.
I think they can score, but not as much as Shea and them can.
That means you're not nice like that. If you can't score,
that means the other team is nicer. The other team is nicer, and yes, that means you're not nice like that. But you gotta play to your strengths. You can't.
I'm talking about. Here's the thing with Tyrese, real quick. With Tyrese, I think he's a type of guy where if he doesn't get going at a certain point in the game,
he gives up.
He might struggle to get going late in the game. I've noticed that, except for game one. Game one of this series was a exception because he didn't get it going and still hit that shot to win the game. Right?
He's been doing that all playoffs though.
But usually he gets going though.
He gets going
usually he has better offensive numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you gotta chuck the whole game, but at a certain point, you gotta get yourself going because you're playing the Thunder. It's gonna be close at the end. If more than likely, right? Somebody has to be able to take that shot in a half-court situation and win the game. And like you said, he showed the ability to do it. Yeah. But this is why some people say he's not a superstar because it's not happening every game.
Now,
which is crazy. It sounds crazy, but it's because he's in the finals. But here we are.
Now, what do you guys make of the fact that the Pacers only ran 9 players last night? Do you think that's a contributor to potentially why? Because they kind of try to match OKC.
Holy man. Only 9 is crazy. Oh,
yeah,
9's
in
kind
the
of a lot,
finals,
no matter what. Yeah,
9's a lot, but not for the Pacers. The Pacers generally run like 10, 11 guys.
So who didn't play that usually plays?
Bryant didn't play. Thomas Bryant didn't play a lot, and I don't think Bradley played. But I don't know if that Bradley plays all that many minutes, honestly.
No, he only really played because of Mitch in the second round. I don't even think I saw him. Did he play at all in the series?
I don't know if he played at all in the series. He hasn't because I think he only played because of Bryant's injury. But yeah,
is Bryant injured?
I think he got hurt in one game against the Knicks last series, and I think that's when Bradley came in, or maybe vice versa. I don't remember, but that won't mean nothing to me. I don't take anything from that because they still play 9 players. That's still more than what most teams do at this point in the season. So that doesn't mean much. That doesn't mean much to me. I don't think they've changed anything significantly by only playing 9 players instead of 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, again, they almost had a chance to really. It was close at the end.
It was close.
It was close at the end.
It was very close.
I think they played a good game the whole game up until the last. I really thought they were going to win. But another thing, I forgot which one y'all said it, but y'all said something about I think it was you, Andre, about playing in the system and being in the system.
Yeah.
One thing though, when Tyrese leaves the game, the Pacers don't look as good.
They don't.
It's been like 2 or 3 games in a row. No, it's been like 2 or 3 games in a row now where Tyrese leaves the game and they lose the lead.
So I see what you're saying.
Because game 2 they didn't have the lead at all. But it's been 2 games in a row now. Tyrese leaves the game and they lose the lead, and they look bad.
Well, it's not. I don't know if that happens consistently. I've definitely seen it happen, but I don't know if that happens consistently. Whereas, on Shea's perspective, I feel like it's legitimately every time he leaves the game, they need to get him back immediately. They're playing him 37, 38 minutes. They heavily rely on him, and the system is again around his scoring, whereas the Pacers seem to be built around Tyrese Haliburton's playmaking. And the reason why I say it's system versus player, right? You're going to be able to find guys that can play make at a high clip easier than you're going to be able to find guys that can score the way Shea does. I can only think of one other guy that can score like that.
I don't know about that. Not in today's NBA. I don't know.
Say it again?
I don't know about that in today's NBA. I feel like Tyrese's playmaking is very special. It's kind of rare in today's NBA.
Just on going on volume, I can think of maybe 5 or 6 guys that you can sub in for Tyrese that'll give you the same playmaking. But I can only think of 3 or 4 guys, maybe really 3 guys max that you can sub in to score the same volume effectively as Shea.
I don't think they have anybody that could play make close to the level of Tyrese.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Tyrese playmaking. You don't think Luka can play make to the level of Tyrese? You don't think?
Wait, you're talking about in the NBA or?
Yeah, I'm talking about in the NBA. I'm just talking about generally. That's why I'm saying system versus being the system
Tyrese
versus fitting in the system.
All right, what do you say that? You talking about stylistically?
Yes.
Or
no, not stylistically. I'm sorry, not stylistically.
Productivity?
Yes.
Okay, that's different now because I'll say Jalen Brunson. I'm still taking Jalen Brunson over Tyrese because
you should.
Jalen Brunson, he could get 25 or 30. He could get 30 and 8, and then Tyrese will get 18 and 9 or 10.
Yeah,
and it's which one do you pick? Because they both created a lot of offense for their teams. It's just different.
Well, that actually goes to my point directly, right? You just said it. You can pick Jalen Brunson and he can get you 7 or 8, right?
But
you can't switch them out and say, "Oh, Tyrese is gonna go get me 35," like Shea, Jalen, and Luka can probably do.
And Trey kind of play like Tyrese too, by the way.
He does play like him in a lot of ways.
We forget that Trey. He does. It's just that he's not as good defensively.
You said Trey Young.
Trey Young.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Trey. I was actually going to say Trey Young might be the one other person.
Yeah.
I could put Tyrese into this system I can switch out from that system and still get the same good offense. Right. I don't think everyone else could work in the system. I think Tyrese's playmaking is particularly good for this system. Like I'm not talking when I was talking about it, I wasn't talking about just like the productivity. I think there are a bunch of guys in the NBA who can get like A+ assists on every given night. But what I'm talking about, I guess I was talking about stylistically is the word you use, Paul.
Yeah.
Stylistically, there's not that many guys I think can match Tyrese's style of play and play this fast and get this many good offense, this many good looks on the offense that play this fast. He knows exactly when to reject a screen. He knows exactly when to pass to a guy. He knows exactly when to pass ahead. He knows exactly when to he's so good at reading the defense that he has multiple games in the playoffs where he's getting 0 turnover. You know how hard it is for a high assist guy to get 0 turnovers?
That's true.
This guy is good as hell, like reading offenses and just being a good playmaker. And I think he's elite at it. He's up there. He's one of the 3 best playmakers, maybe 4 or 5 in the league today. And I think that's not a small feat. And I don't think you can just replace that easily.
No, I'm not saying it's replace that easy. I'm saying you said you just kind of, in a sense, you just kind of agree with 3 to 5 players that that's the list that Tyrese is on in terms of playmaking. I'm saying when you are the system, right, and the system is built around your scoring and your ability to really demoralize the other team, I can think of 3 guys max, like currently in the league, that description fits into, and that they're going to deliver every game. It's Shea, it's Jalen Brunson, and it's Luka. That's the list.
No Tatum.
No Tatum.
No Kawhi.
No Kawhi, because Kawhi's not giving you 35 a night. Tatum's not giving you 35 a night. He's inconsistent as hell.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards isn't giving you 35 a night.
In the playoffs,
I'm saying, we have to understand the Knicks losing is so egregious.
Man. Oh my God!
So egregious.
Enough.
It's so egregious.
That is
this guy was giving us
really
blood, sweat, and
the
tears,
NBA, man. Like, imagine. Anyway, listen, but I will say this though: the Pacers are a good team. So, a lot of those players that you named, I don't know if they have the amount of talent that the Pacers have.
Who? Which players?
Wait, repeat that, Paul.
Anthony Edwards, he doesn't have the play. See, when you have talent surrounding you and you have Tyrese's mentality, you could get to the finals, try to create offense for others. When you got players that could score around you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think Anthony Edwards doesn't have that. Kawhi is older and he got his injury issues. I'm not even gonna talk about him. Who else did you bring up? Luka. If Luka got that, he's getting the triple double.
If Luka had the Indiana Pacers, he's holding the chip for a couple of years.
You never know, man. It's different because he did get to the finals. So,
if Luka had this team last year, the Celtics aren't winning. Just straight up. I'm so sorry.
Well, maybe I don't know because
the Celtics were good as hell last year.
Luka was a cone defensively.
Yeah, that's also. But Tyrese isn't locking people up. He's getting steals, but he's not. It's not like
his effort is different.
It's better.
That's true.
He's serviceable defensively.
Very serviceable. Yeah,
you can't take that away from him.
That's fair.
He's better than Jalen Brunson defensively. I'll say that.
That's true.
Just because he's bigger. You know what I mean?
He's a better matchup for Shea than a lot of other guys would have been.
Nobody's a good matchup for Shea on that team, man.
I was gonna say I said he's a better matchup, but that being said, Shea's still giving him 35. In multiple games, even the games that they've lost.
Shea is different. You gotta match. That's what I'm trying to say. I get it about the beauty of their offense and all of that, Allen, but at a certain point,
you gotta make buckets.
You gotta get some buckets. You gotta
the whole team gets buckets though.
But that's the problem. That even basketball distribution last night, it failed, right? In the sense, last night, Pascal Siakam.
That's not why they lost.
It's a big reason.
Hey, you could make an argument that's why they lost.
It's a big reason.
You're relying on role players.
Right.
Good role players. Better role players in the NBA than most other teams, but you're relying on them to make shots to win the game. And you're not getting double teamed?
It's not even about that. But it's not even that though, because like I said before, I think Tyrese specifically, but the whole team, but Tyrese specifically got some good looks. They just didn't fall. And when you're getting good looks, I can't say like they just don't fall sometimes. If it was to the point where like they couldn't even get a shot off, they was going deep in the shot clock, and it was over, and they had to just chuck it up because it was almost violations. I would agree with Sean more, but he was just getting good looks. They got switched. I remember specifically a play I'm thinking about where he got to switch onto Chet. And he was trying to nice Chet up. He got a step back, and it was a step back that we seen him hit a bunch of times, but he just missed.
You trying to take that on Chet Holmgren though? That's a long arm contesting that.
That's a 7-1.
He got the space though.
Perimeter defender.
He got the space though. It was a good mismatch. He got the space. He had Chet moving his feet, and he lost him. He got the space, and he got the shot off. I think that was good offense.
What we're saying is, given that's true, if Tyrese takes, we're not talking about makes right now.
Yes.
If he takes just 5 more shots, do the Thunder still pull away?
Maybe not, but I think he gives you a better chance.
Right. And that's exactly the point.
Yeah. You gotta be the guy. Somebody gotta step up and be the guy, man.
And just to go, the Thunder obviously they won, so they scored more points, but a lot of those points were top heavy. It was Shea, it was Jalen Williams, and it was Chet Holmgren. And then it was Alex Caruso, and then everybody else is single digits. Lou Dort had 2 shots. He's one of the most important players.
Yes.
So whereas on the other side, Obi Toppin had 12 shots. And he was killing them. He was
killing.
He was.
But there's a time and place for Obi Toppin to be taking shots.
Right.
Late in the fourth quarter is not that time.
Not the time.
I know about Obi Toppin.
Yes, you do. Yes,
listen, Obi Toppin ain't improved in years. And I'm an Obi Toppin fan. He's been this good since the Knicks. It's just that Tibbs had a bias against him. He's a young player, and then he kind of cursed about in that leaked audio and all of that. So that it was a wrap for that. But he's good. He's good. But at a certain point, it's like palms get sweaty. He has this like little hesitancy about him sometimes when it's tight, when the game is tight. I've seen it. And that's okay because he's not the guy. But it didn't matter. He missed 4 shots. That wasn't an accident.
That's an accident. You cannot.
That wasn't an accident, Alan. No. You can defend your zone, brother. But it wasn't
4 free throws, bro. You can miss 4 free throws.
Yes.
Nah, that's a fluke. That's a fluke. You tell me real players can't hit free throws just because. Oh no.
The lights get bright. That's honestly, that's the name of the episode. The lights get bright. Did we do that already? I feel like we might have done that already.
I don't know.
Probably did.
But whatever. Look, there's a time and place, man. Tyrese, Pascal, this is not his series.
Yeah, Pascal, this is not his series.
Because there's no matchup for him to exploit. That's the thing.
Pascal abused the Knicks so many games. Like just him alone. Like you're not gonna get that so easily against the Thunder.
Yeah, but that was just poor. The only reason that happened is because of poor coaching.
I agree.
We got listen. And the more every time I think about it, I just think how egregious, bro. That's the only word I can think about. It's so gosh darn egregious.
Wait, really quick.
Yes, sir.
Is there any? Because we talked about it before, Andre, but is there any guys or like? I'm asking about X factors. Is there any like guys on either team that you think is a significant X factor, Paul? That you think is like a key for a win on either team?
All right, on the Thunder side, they got 2 potential X factors. Alex Caruso was supposed to be an X factor, but he's not because Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren have been inconsistent, and he has. But one of those guys got to step up every game.
Yep.
If both of them don't step up, they're losing. Point blank. It doesn't have to be both. Like, I don't think Chet had the greatest game last night, but Jalen Williams did. Right? And there were games where Chet had a better night than Jalen Williams. Yeah. Shea needs one other guy. Like, Alex Caruso could help with the bench offense a little bit, right? But they need one more guy. That's it. That's why I disagree with Farrell. I don't think they need both. I think they just need one other guy. On the Pacers side, Tyrese is the X factor. I'm telling you right now.
You're not wrong.
If he doesn't score efficiently, if he is not a threat on the offensive end, scoring wise, they are gonna struggle. They're gonna struggle. So I think go ahead.
Efficiently or aggressively? Because last night he wasn't kind of not from the three. But overall, he wasn't inefficient. But
I say aggressively. But at the same time, we can't just be. Somebody got to step up on our team and be a superstar, man.
Right.
Got to be Tyrese, because as a superstar, you can't just be aggressive and not efficient, right? Because then you still failed. So I'm asking for both from him, which I don't think he's ever been asked for in his whole career. But he needs it. He needs to be that, or else they're gonna lose, and they have an opportunity to win. And I don't know if they're gonna have the opportunity again. Seize the moment. Tyrese got that's what he gotta do. He gotta seize the moment. He did to an extent in game one. He gotta seize the moment every time. That's why I say he gotta play a little bit more like a Jalen Brunson now. Not because I'm saying I'm just Jalen Brunson fan. No. They need somebody to step up and be the guy.
All right, let's see. As long as it doesn't take away from their offense. If you talk about his key moments, I agree with you. But I just don't want them to give up the offense that has taken them this far. Because I think
I'll say this though.
They've had games where he's went off. This has to be in the fourth quarter, which is what he takes anyway.
I don't think this should be the whole fourth quarter. I think it should be in clutch moments. But
but see, now you're asking for somebody who scoring wise has been colder for most of the game to come in, and it's risky. It happened in game one, but that's risky.
You're right. You're risky, but you got what you gotta do. I guess I don't know. I feel like
second half, 2 quarters of aggressiveness, and they'll be in a better place.
Weird.
I think that because he's gonna sit anyway.
Yeah.
For large parts of either the third or the fourth when the bench comes in. So that's when other guys could get their offense up. But they need somebody to step up.
Fair enough. I was watching T's podcast, Jeff T and them.
Yeah.
520. Jeff T was saying how someone was in his DM that made a good comparison. This Pacers team is not any like stylistically, but just when you think about like teams overall, this Pacers team is low key like the Chauncey Billups and those Pistons teams that won, because they've had a superstar type stuff. And I thought that was a good comparison to go back to this year. That's like the closest comparison I could think of. Are we
saying that Tyrese Halliburton is not a superstar?
Some people are saying that. It's a debate. It's at least a debate between a lot of people.
It's a debate. But it's a debate because he's passive sometimes. That's why it's a debate.
Yeah. But you could say the same thing with Chauncey. So I feel like if this team won, it would remind me of that. But I thought that was interesting.
That's a good comparison, honestly. That's a very, very good comparison.
The problem
I'm not here. I hear a lot of people comparing it to the 2011 Dirk team.
I don't think
that's a good comparison, but I do like the Chauncey Pistons.
Yeah.
The problem is that the 2004 Pistons, they won in 2004. They were a good team, and then for like 5 years more, and didn't win again. And they're like the only team in that vein that won a chip. The only team.
Yeah.
The Lakers had to have a lot of issues that year for them to lose.
Yeah.
The Thunder, that's not going to work against this Thunder team, man. I'm telling you.
But also, I saw the Thunder last night only made 3 threes.
Is that true?
That can't be true. That can't be true.
They hit a lot of mid-range shots last night.
They did.
I don't think they took a whole lot of threes. And that's crazy to win a game with 2025 with only 3 threes made.
Golly, that's true. They made 3 of 16.
Oh, made 3 threes. They only made 3 threes.
Yeah, they only made 3 threes.
But see, all right. See that. All right, let's talk about that. Right. They only made 3 threes because they have a lot of 3-and-D guys.
Right.
The depth on the Thunder is very different from the depth on the Indiana. The depth on Indiana, they're allowed to be more creative and kind of just go get your own shot, get a mismatch, and go score. The Thunder is 3-and-D guys. If they're not taking a 3, it's a layup or a dunk. If they're not doing any of those 2, they're looking for somebody to pass to. They're looking for Shea or Jalen Williams or sometimes Chet, right? And it wasn't working because I think in Indiana, again, they're role players. They just weren't comfortable. The pressure kind of got to that depth a little bit that the Thunder have. And they're young, too. They're like 20, 21. So I think it kind of got to them a little bit. Whereas now they're going to go back to OKC. They're going back to OKC. They're going to be more comfortable. Indiana, now your role players, are they going to hit all them shots they've been hitting the past 2 games? They hit a lot of one-on-one type shots. A lot of them guys. Nembhard, TJ McConnell, Benedict. Who else? They have Shepherd, who takes a lot of catch and shoot threes. He's more like an OKC 3-and-D type guy on the Pacers. But yeah, like they just got a lot of guys that's kind of just getting their own. Is that gonna work in OKC? Right now, because it's 2-2. You know, we'll see. We'll see. It could go if they lose in game 6. I mean, in game 5, they still have game 6 in Indiana, and then after that is a game 7. But you know, I just think last night the stars showed up. Jalen Williams and Shea showed up. And that's why I'm saying the Thunder are going to win in 6 because that's what's it's the NBA. Stars win, right? You can't cloud chase, but you have to have some star talent to win a chip most of the time, like 99.999% of the time. Who's the star that's going to show up on the end? We don't know. It might be nobody. Tyrese might be passive. Pascal might have a game, and now
it might be everybody though.
It could be everybody too.
It could be everybody.
too.
It's the beauty of the Pacers.
Yeah.
I found myself rooting for them. I kind of like the Pacers. Which is
Pacers?
Crazy, yeah. I kind of want them to win the series. I don't know.
I want the Thunder to win and get it over it, man.
Like, as a Knicks fan, I can't root for the Pacers right now.
No.
That's fair enough.
That's
fair enough. But I kind of see myself rooting for them. I kind of want them to win it. I just like Tyrese. I don't know. Y'all know
I just don't like what it'll mean for. I don't know if the Pacers win in 2025 in this 5-year span of where we can't determine whose face it is. I don't like that for basketball and specifically for the NBA. That's going to necessarily mean superstars don't matter. We don't need a face, just play ball. And that's cool in a lot of ways.
No. I disagree with that.
I
thought you were going somewhere else with that. I thought you were going somewhere else with that. No.
Where do you think I'm going? Where were you going?
I thought you were going to say that now a next face or potential face is here. And because we had a different champion every year.
Right.
So nobody's really claimed a stronghold on the NBA. Right. So I don't think anybody really believes that Tyrese will.
No.
But a lot of people believe that Shea could.
I think Shea does. If he wins this year, that means he won the MVP, the Western Conference MVP, and the Finals MVP in one season. That's fantastic. And had the number one offense and the number one team in the game this entire season.
And then
Giannis
next
did
year,
something like that a few years ago, though.
I was gonna say the next year when he doesn't do any of those three, what happens?
Then what? You know what I mean?
Like
Great question.
That's well, yeah.
I don't know that he plays like this. I don't know that he doesn't get another MVP.
He got a lot of competition, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of good people.
Competition,
but he could very well get one more MVP. But if next year there's a new champion again, like what we gonna say then? You know, that's why we can't keep. This is not how it's gonna work. Like there's gonna be.
Yo, go ahead.
I would say like it doesn't. We can't just pick it off of like whoever was the championship or whoever just looks good that season. It's gonna organically come from. I want to like beat a dead horse, but it's going to organically come from someone we're watching as like the GOAT.
Yeah,
someone we're potentially watching be the guy for the whole generation. It's going to be Ant or Wemby. They got to fight for it, I think.
You think it's Ant or Wemby?
Listen,
right now, those are the people I'm looking at.
Interesting.
Here's what I do. All right. This comment, Nomad says that's how it should be, right?
I don't care about that. I agree with you.
And here's the thing, right? Jordan was so great for the league because there was parity. It's just that he rose above all of them. Like he was the reason the Bulls were great. He was the reason the Bulls could be considered a super team. It wasn't because of Scottie and Dennis Rodman alone. It was Jordan, right?
Right.
Now in this era, we have parity. The problem is we don't have somebody that's taking a stronghold of the league. Yet. You talk about Ant, you talk about Wemby. They're not guaranteed to do it either. Wemby Wemby might, but somebody got to step up and win multiple chips. At least two.
Right.
Let's see if Taylor Jenkins could allow Jalen Brunson to be that guy.
Let's see. But like my whole thing is like when we're watching like the face of the league, we're also watching them become that. That's what I'm thinking right now. That's why the only reason why I mentioned Wemby and right now, because those are the two guys I think have the chance to take it. But part of it is we're watching them become that. So I want to keep talking about the face of the league because we talk about that a lot on the show. But let's keep an eye on it. I kind of like it right now that we don't have one yet, and we're trying to see who's going to take it. But I guess I agree with you. It's not the best thing for the league. Or maybe it is. Who knows? But
I think. See, last next week after the finals are done, because I think by next week the finals are done, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, next Saturday.
Game 7 will be next Sunday if it goes there.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday will be Game 7 if it goes to Game 7.
That's a long time.
I know. So it's only Game 3 and Game 5 only had one day in between. Now they're going back down to 2 days in between.
Okay, interesting. Okay, space it out.
It kind of sucks for us. It kind of sucks for us if we record on Saturday. So we got to figure that out.
We might
have to change the day or something.
We might have to record on Sunday night. 2 episodes on a weekend. Y'all gonna be hearing from us a lot.
Unless it ends in 6.
Yeah, if it ends in 6, good for us. Yeah,
but no, I was saying, what was I saying? I'm telling you, I forgot. The problem with the Warriors, right? Because that a lot of listen to where I'm going, right? Last thing I'm talking about with the parity in the face of the league and all of that, right?
Okay.
The thing is, right? We got some people that say, "Oh, you hate when there's a champion every other year and there's all this parity," but then you hate when the Warriors are taking over and all of that, right? The problem is when we want to see greatness, man. We want to see a Jordan like Jordan. The last time Jordan played on the Bulls, I was like 2-3 years old, man. Like that. The last time we saw something like that was at that time when the Warriors were winning chips with KD and Steph, and we're in the finals every year, right? We knew that KD was nice. We knew Steph was nice, but we didn't know who was really the best in the league at that time. We didn't know because they played together on an already talented team. And then LeBron was over there going crazy on the Cavs. Right. Absolutely ridiculous on the Cavs. But losing to the Warriors, who just had 2 guys who shouldn't have played with each other like for competitive reasons, right? we don't know. That I think that era really hurt LeBron. That's why I said KD ruined the NBA so much on the podcast back then, right? And you talk about Kobe. Kobe didn't win Kobe had a stronghold.
I was gonna bring this up too.
Kobe didn't have a stronghold too, but it wasn't like Jordan. Come on, man. It wasn't like Jordan. That's why Jordan is the greatest, right? That we don't know how great LeBron would have been and would have been considered if that team wasn't in the chip every year, right? What if LeBron got 6-7 chips? Now what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
KD really may have stopped. KD really might have stopped Steph Curry's greatness and LeBron's greatness.
Yes.
That's kind of wild.
When we talk about saboteurs, it's him.
He might sabotage both of them at one time.
We don't know. That's the problem. We don't know.
He is a saboteur.
And in this era, we have a chance to see somebody come up and really take that throne and take that mantle, right? But nobody's done it. And listen, if Shea does it, if Shea wins, then he has a chance to do it. I guess Tyrese, we gotta give Tyrese some credit. If Tyrese does it, he's gonna have to score more and be more aggressive to do it anyway. So if he does it, we'll see how great Tyrese is. But there's a vacancy right now, and we gotta wait at least 2 years to find out, because whoever's gonna win this year is gonna be their first ship. So
yeah, but let me correct myself. Though. He didn't sabotage their greatness. He may have sabotaged their bid for greatest of all time. That kind of
threshold for greatness.
Or that
limit. He added
he sabotaged that threshold. Because who knows, if he won 6-7, like you said, Paul, there might be a lot less debate, because obviously it's heavily debated. Jordan and LeBron, heavily debated. Maybe that would have swung enough people to be like, all right, LeBron's a rope.
That's why. That's the biggest reason why I was saying years ago that he ruined the NBA. That's why. And then when he went to the Nets, he fixed it. Although I didn't like him going over there, but anyway, you know. Yeah. And then what if LeBron still lost? Now people are like, oh, he's definitely not. You know what I mean? He's not even top 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
you never know.
Anyway, man, y'all want to talk about your Knicks? What's going on over there?
I didn't want to.
We have a request in the comments.
I didn't want to talk about this, man. I said there's too much speculation.
So in other words, you have no idea what the hell's going on.
None.
I mean, no. Let's be fair. There was a report by credible sources that we are no longer trying to steal coaches from winning teams.
Can we talk? We want to talk about that foolishness. All right. What the hell? What the hell is going on, man? I don't want what?
It's a bad look.
What you said? I saw Austin Reeves talk about this morning, and I got tight because he gave an analogy. And he's like, imagine you're at the club and you see someone with their girl. He has his arm wrapped around his girl. They're kissing, they're hugging, they look sweet. And you walk up to him and say, I like the way she treats you. Can I I'm never gonna give her back, but can I just have her from here on out? What would you say?
Austin Reeves said this?
Yeah.
In what context? Who was he talking
Austin
to?
Rivers or Reeves?
Austin Rivers. I'm sorry, not Austin Reeves.
I was like, who the hell?
Which, by the way, he's got mad beef with the Knicks. He's got mad beef with the Knicks.
Austin Rivers had beef with the Knicks? Why?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's
apparently the way he left the organization was not as clean as it seemed.
Wait, what year did he?
We'll send you the clip.
I'll send you the clip, guys. I don't remember.
I have no idea.
2021.
I didn't either until he started talking on his podcast.
But
I knew something was up though, because there's no way. I remember. I'll never forget Tibbs for this. I'll never forget Tibbs doing this. Austin Rivers against the Nuggets, I believe. It was either the Jazz or the Nuggets. I want to say no. It was one of them. He had 25 points in the first half of the game. He missed 2 shots.
That's too much.
Second half, he didn't play until late in the fourth.
Oh no!
This is the types of things that Tibbs does. When Austin Rivers said that when he came to the Knicks, Tibbs, introduced himself. Where he said, yeah, I really wanted Derek, but let's make the best of the situation. Something like that. And then we got Derek Rose.
And he said goodbye.
Then we got it later in the year. And he was like, no, I'm out of here. I knew it.
Yo, I really wanted Derek, but let's just make the best out of it. That's crazy. I assume he probably knew Tibbs when he was a kid. I know Tibbs used to be Doc's assistant, but I guess not.
Who said he liked to?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I know somebody not like them.
That's a fact.
No,
we gotta remember
who do y'all want to see as
a for life?
Get out of here with this.
No.
Get out of here with this.
Can you imagine?
No.
Get out of here with this. We're hiring Taylor Jenkins.
Is that who you want to see, Paul?
You said what?
That's who you want to see?
Yes.
That's what I want to see. But the reports are that him and Mike Brown are the leading candidates, and I don't see us going with Mike Brown.
I don't want to go with Mike Brown. I'm not gonna lie.
Out of those two, who'd you prefer? Though you prefer
Taylor Jenkins? I want Taylor. Listen, I want Taylor Jenkins over some.
To me, why is Taylor Jenkins so good to you in your eyes?
All right, let's
tell the people.
All right, wait. Who do you want, Dre?
I'm going to over. If it was Mike Malone versus Taylor Jenkins, I'm taking Mike Malone. But Taylor Jenkins versus Mike Brown, I'm taking Taylor Jenkins.
Okay. This is why I'm a fan of Taylor Jenkins over almost everybody in the NBA. Right? Even some of these guys that they were trying to get from these winning teams. Right? Which I'm not mad at those names, but I think Taylor Jenkins is perfect. Right? Taylor Jenkins developed a young team to number one in the NBA. When he got them, they weren't that great. Right, or they were young, and he developed them into the number one seed in the NBA. Before the Thunder existed, it was the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were supposed to be where the Thunder are right now. People forgot, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
People forgot. They were one of the top offensive teams in the league and defensive teams in the league, right? He goes deep in the bench. Up to this year, he was still developing young talent, right? G.G. Jackson, Aldama, guys like that. He's still developing young talent. When Ja was out, they were still one of the best teams in the league, right? At least in the West, you could say, right? It's a no. To me, he's low. He doesn't have like a big name. He's low maintenance, right? Like calmer demeanor. He's not gonna come here and try to be like the star of the team, which is what we need. Because if you look at somebody like Jalen Brunson, right? Jalen Brunson came here without a big name and just put his head down and worked. That's what New York needs. New York doesn't need people who's gonna come in here and like try and be a celebrity. They become a celebrity through their work. That's what you do in New York. And I think Taylor Jenkins is that type of guy. He's younger, right? I think that's good for the players that we have because we have guys who are right now entering or in the middle of their primes, right? I think they don't need somebody that's going to hover over them and micromanage them and like a college type of coach like the Tibbs. They need somebody who's going to be a partner to them and work with them, be open-minded on what. There's so many reasons why Taylor Jenkins makes so much sense, right? We don't know why the Grizzlies fired him. But what we do know is this. He did a great job with Memphis. And good coaches get fired every day.
Right.
Every season. He's the obvious selection for me. Obvious. Creative offensively, at least more than Tibbs. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
There you have it. Leon Rose. Paul said, get it done.
Get it done. Why? I don't even know why you're trying to go to the.
I don't understand that entire play. Is this like a?
They're not done either. They're not done either. Now they want to go to college coaches.
Nah. I think they're gonna do any of that. Or Mike Brown over college coach. I think what I think they thought they were doing was their due diligence and like kind of playing the field to see who might be available because you never know. But it happened so publicly that it's like. It's a bad look, but
they saw the Luka trade and was like, nah, like we're not leaving no stone unturned.
Facts.
They said maybe they can give up the whole squad. How y'all really feel about Anthony Davis? Y'all ready to depart with?
If you're Taylor Jenkins or any of these other coaches that do get hired, do you feel any way about that? Like y'all went to like other dudes who already have jobs before y'all went to me, who I'm a free agent.
You see that again?
You feel any way? Like do you feel any way if you're Taylor Jenkins or or whoever they end up hiring? Do you feel weird about the fact that they need to go to other coaches first who already have jobs before coming to talk to me?
Yes, but I don't know how bad or how weird you feel about it because the Knicks job is the hottest job in the NBA. And I only say that because the to me, I don't know why, but I feel like the Nuggets are going to stay with that assistant coach that they moved up. I think they're going to make that.
They already did.
They said he's a coach, right?
Yeah, they hired him full time now. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So where else is he going to go to the Suns? Like we're the team, man.
Yeah, Suns already hired that guy too. So yeah, I think the Knicks might be the only team open right now, though. Yeah, I mean that might be the last. Huh? The Kings. What the Kings do? Oh, the Kings are good. I don't know if they hired it. I don't know if they hired anybody yet. But yeah,
he got a whole roster change and still made the Eastern Conference. Tip should have had one more season to figure it out. Real Knicks fans know he had more than enough time to figure it out.
Shut the hell up.
He had more than enough.
Shut the F up.
I don't know, man. I said it on the last pod, but I think the whole season he wasn't great. And I think if anything, making the Eastern Conference Finals would have saved his job. But I think
it didn't solidify his job.
Yeah, I don't think he was solidified at all.
I'm gonna say.
I think he was going to be fired, especially if they didn't make the East Conference Finals. I think he was going to be fired no matter what.
You saw the report that they rarely ran scrimmages.
Yes.
I saw that.
Like there's stuff coming out right now, and Austin Rivers. When you see what Austin Rivers does not like Tibbs.
I want to watch that video.
When listen, there's stuff coming out that it's explaining and showing that the Knicks situation is not as great as people thought it was, and a lot of it has to do with Tibbs. A lot of it has to do with Tibbs. Like he got us to a certain point, but you can't coach an experienced team like there's some team full of rookies and second-year players. You can't do that.
I also want to know about the scrimmages thing. I also want to know just how many NBA teams do that, because I feel like NBA teams don't practice how we know what practice is. I feel like their practices be bad different because it's when they play bad games during the season. And two, they're a bunch of grown men and the best in the world. I feel like they just don't do a lot of the things that you think they would.
But here's the thing, though. Right? I agree with that, but at the same time, teams don't do that when they are sure and positive and secure in the systems that they run on the offensive and defensive end. It came out right after Tibbs got fired. The anonymous interviews with the players that a lot of them basically said they don't know what their role was.
Yeah.
You could watch it on the floor. It looked like they didn't practice. It looked like they didn't scrimmage. It looked like they were confused. It looked like players were out of rhythm sometimes, and then sometimes they in rhythm. And it just looked like he just went out there and just said, "Play ball, man. Go be great." In the words of Tim Legler,
salute.
Go be great is not a play. It's not a play call, and that's what Tibbs did too much.
Y'all and the defense, he's a defensive coach,
and our defense wasn't much.
Y'all going hard on them dudes. Salute. That was
why?
But I don't know. It's over for Tibbs, man. I don't think Tibbs will get another job.
You hired him then, Nomad Clippers. You want another?
Actually, that's great. Y'all want him so damn bad. Y'all want him?
Maybe one more year. We had enough. We got there in spite of him. I'm telling you right now. We became relevant because of him, but after that, it was really the greatness of Jalen Brunson why we even got this far. So,
what's going on?
Anyway,
listen, is Nomad saying Tyronn Lue is available?
Tyronn Lue is not available.
You know the Knicks are gonna try to find out.
They should try for Eric.
You want to find out? You want the Tibbs experience? We'll give you a trade. We'll give
go get Eric Spoelstra then. If you're asking people,
man, he's gonna try and get Jalen Brunson for Eric Spoelstra. Pat Riley gonna try and get Jalen Brunson for Eric Spoelstra.
Facts.
100%.
Yo,
facts. Great.
Ty Lue might be available in the next year, low key.
I think that's crazy if it's like mutual part ways, that's one thing, but I should not fire Ty Lue. I think Ty Lue
wasn't he trying to leave at one point a few years ago?
I don't remember.
He should leave and come to the Knicks.
But hey, man. So our picks, you're saying Pacers in 7, Alan?
I think so. Yeah. I believe in them, bro. They convinced me. I believe in them.
Yeah, I believe.
I'm happy to be wrong. Though.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. What do you say?
Who y'all think our next game?
I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm being completely honest. I really don't know what's going on with this series. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go out.
Part of me feels like Jalen Williams has arrived to the finals, and it's a wrap. I really feel like it's a wrap.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that.
It's been a good series too. I'm just happy it's been a good series for the most part.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because I feel like if more people believed in the Pacers, this would be one of those series where everybody was glued to the TV.
Yeah,
like there would be more hype. There would be more conversation, more excitement. Even when you watch people on TV talk about the series, it's like, like the energy isn't there. They evaluate what's going on X's and O's wise, but it's like, I don't know.
That's a shame because they've been playing like really good basketball. It's been a really good series to watch. So I kind of hate that.
This is one of those situations where like I know a lot of time when people talk about star power a lot, they say it takes away from the X's and O's and like the real analysis of the game. But I think this is one of those situations where the star power is the X's and O's. I really feel like Shea, I don't know. I'm saying I feel like because I don't know. I really feel like Shea is just him, man. Like, and he's gonna show you. He's gonna show you why. And if he got a little help from Jalen or Chet or both, it's hard. It's hard for the Pacers, bro. Let me say this too, Chet Holmgren, you're gonna be tight. You are you are too big and dribble too high to be getting a rebound and trying to go coast to coast 94 feet. He got like 3-4 turnovers off of that alone. He get the board and he's out of here. He's trying to cross people up. He dribble high.
You're not Giannis, bro. You're not Giannis.
Like, this is the finals. It's not
going to work. Decide if you want. Like,
he's not fast enough to do that either. They be catching up with him like that, and just poking the ball away, like just killing momentum. Like,
you're a fool when you do that. Stop.
Go give the ball to a guard. You're not there. You are not Kevin Durant.
See, that's exactly the problem. Okay, Kevin Durant, man. Kevin Durant ruined the game in more ways than one. We don't talk about it.
They just hyped him up too much. They hyped him too much.
We don't talk about it enough. Clip this. Kevin Durant ruined the game in more ways than one. Okay.
All right.
All this to not win a chip. It's not winning basketball. All that skill, and you need Stephen Curry to save you. It's not winning basketball.
All right.
You talking like it's 2019 right now, man. Relax.
Listen, man, I'm tired.
Fastbreaks family.
And this is someone who makes a stretch big in 2K. Death to the stretch bigs. I'm making a classic big. I'm making a classic board. A rim protector.
So wait. So how you feel about Cat? You want Cat out of here?
Hey, I need Cat helped me realize this is the position I need to take because that man refused. Man refused to protect the paint. I love Cat, man. I love him for the all, but I'm tired, man. We need. I saw a video. Have you guys seen the page Who's Next?
I don't remember.
I think so.
He made a video about the greatest board getting rim protector, two-way slashers. Obviously, the greatest was Russell Westbrook, but it was an all big man. It was like an all big man lineup, and then Russell Westbrook at the end. And I was like, yeah, this is what we need in basketball again. We're missing it, and Chet needs to go learn about that. This is what we need.
There to be a rim runner.
Man, let's get out of here, man. We go.
I'm just delirious at this point. I'm just
delirious.
I'm tired. I need to take a nap.
All right, y'all. Fast breaks. Game 5 is tomorrow, right? Or no, Monday. Okay, game 5 is Monday. All right. Enjoy the game, y'all. It's been real.
Hey, Thunder at 6. That's my prediction. I believe by next Saturday, when we're talking about this, it will be officially the off.
What about you? I don't know what you're thinking.
We'll see.
Oh, we definitely got to talk about Shay's place in Thunder lore.
If he wins.
That's gonna be
I'm not gonna.
I'm very interested to see what Farrell says about
as greasy as I just talked about Kevin Durant, we're not just gonna up him over Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook at this point.
We'll talk. We'll save it. All right,
we'll see.
Fast family, we out. We'll save it. Peace. What Farrell say? Light it up.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game. We don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the